Hey, everybody. Welcome to the next in our series of song writing that we've been doing. Today's a little bit different because I was working on a song at a piano at a place I was staying a couple weeks ago. And I just recorded like a rough version of it and decided to bring it into Logic and use that as the inspiration, so to speak. But we're going to be using Synthesizer V, and we might be using Suno. I don't know yet, but we're going to see what we can do here with some of these cool tools we have in Logic. We are on update watch for Logic Pro. November is one of the number one months in the past 10 years where updates were released. And it's unusual to release them during the week of our, big holiday in the United States, Thanksgiving. So maybe this week. The other big month of the year, of course, is May in the spring. And there have been, I think, I was doing some research this morning about updates. December, particularly, to see if we didn't get anything this week or next, what the chances are of getting anything later. And in fact, there have been 4 Decembers in the past 10 years, and they were all just little bug updates, probably to fix something that had been released in November. And so we are heavy into watching for the updates. We'll see what happens, though. There's no promises. So what I did was I have this little Zoom recorder. It's the H3VR ambisonic one. It's really nice and handy because you can set it anywhere and then focus the directionality of it using plugins in post. And so I just set this on the piano and was able to record a little bit. It's rough. This is what I call even rougher than normal because it's on this little upright grand that wasn't perfectly in tune and in a room that's not great. But we're going to see what we can do with this. Here's the beginning. When I imported it, I just drug it in and put it in adapt tempo. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. And so you can see the tempo map. I mean, I played relatively consistent. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's not like a metronome, but you don't want a metronome anyway. So here's the beginning. Snow began to fall before the sun came up. Cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see. It should have been pure joy. And I go like for the high note. Woohoo! So we have the tempo. It's pretty good tempo map. Here's it with the metronome on. Every once in a while it has to like do this little, we could probably fine tune that more if we wanted to, but I don't know if I'm going to. But first thing I want to do is, because this is just me with, the microphone, piano, singing, whatever, we are going to process this with the stem splitter with just the vocals and just the piano. Because why not? Then I can take the vocal out and do other things with it, which is kind of nice. And let's not use the track stack. We don't need that. So here's the isolation now. Here's the piano. And at the same time, let's listen to the voice for a second.
Nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see.
Okay, right. So good. The stem splitter is really good for this type of for splitting. I mean, that's really clean and doesn't have a lot of artifacts, and it means that I can now come through. And by the way, I want to point this out as I get started on this. This is not one of those demos where I've, practiced it and made sure I'm going to do everything perfectly. I'm not interested in those kind of demos. I get actually ragged on quite a bit on my YouTube channel by people who are like, man, your demo didn't seem like it was very polished. And I'm like, you know what? That's not the point. I actually want to do some of these things as if it was you doing them for the first time and trying them out. I'm not afraid of making demos that aren't perfect. There's no problem with that for me. Let's do export one region as audio file. This is how we're going to take this into Synthesizer V. You can actually import audio into that. We'll see again how this is going to work. Snow song Vox. Just put it in my main album folder for the moment. And then let's create a new software instrument track. Put this at the bottom. And we'll load up Synthesizer V. So anyone who doesn't know what Synthesizer V is, who's watching this, this is a vocal synthesis tool. We've been talking about Resync on my channel a lot lately, which is not a vocal synthesis tool. That is just like essentially a vocal wrapper or a vocal replacer, using technology that lets one voice have an imprint and you put it onto another one. This is something that actually can take notes and vowel sounds, well, word sounds, and actually create a vocal using voices that they've bundled with it. Cool. Let's do, I think before I go any further, I'm going to synchronize tempo with host. Cool. That means now when I play this,
Snow began to fall before the sun came up.
it should actually.
Cold inside our bones, was it enough? Stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up.
I don't actually know if let's stop that. I don't actually know. That may have an issue a little bit. We're going to live with it for the moment. I don't know if it'll chase the tempo down that accurately, but we'll find out. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to bring in that voice. Let me go find it. Make myself some room here. Okay, cool. I might have wanted to actually normalize it or something. I don't know if that'll help or not. But we have the voice in here now. And you'll see that it does detect a tempo. We're going to extract the notes from the audio. We'll try once, and then if we need to normalize or do something else, we can. Okay, cool. Process. And we'll use Liam. This is one of my favorite things about the promise of this technology. Not that it's working all the time, but it is, the promise of this says that eventually we'll get there. Let's mute that for the moment. We're going to mute the original voice out here.
Snow began to fall before the sun came up. Cold inside her bones, was it enough? Stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see. Which of the pain, pure joy was taken from my heart? The melting of the world soon began to start. What should up before everything?
Okay. So we'll do a little bit of pass at this to fine tune it. It definitely analyzed a couple of the things not perfectly, but that's okay. I mean, I'm surprised it got as much as it did personally. Because it wasn't the best recording in the first place.
Was taken from my heart.
It's like some of these things are just missing the end consonants. Let's see if I can get that right. Okay.
Was taken from my heart. The melting of the world.
Yeah, but they did. It's really good, actually. So going through, we'll maybe catch some of these now, and then off stream I can finish them up. But
of the world soon began to start. What should up go?
what should that one there?
What did up go?
Okay.
What did up?
Should have. Let's see.
What don't be to go?
What is that saying? Yeah, let's do should have. Should have been. Okay.
What don't deep in our everything?
What is that saying? That is having like a little. Maybe there wasn't enough space.
What don't deep in our every?
Oh, that's hilarious.
What don't deep in our everything?
That word. I'll have to figure that out. It's definitely mispronouncing something there, but I don't know what it's doing. Okay, moving on. Let's just listen a little bit more.
The shadow in control.
Shadow and.
The shadow in control.
And some of these I'll have to go through and change some of the like vibrato and some of the phoneme timings that they have. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Let's see. Pitch deviation, loudness. No, that's fine. Should have been. Let's do. Just flatten that one line for a second. I like how this.
Don't deep in our everything. A shadow in control.
Okay, cool.
What don't deep in our everything. A shadow in control.
Yeah. Get a little breath there.
everything at all.
Man, it's really having a problem with the SHs right this moment. I wonder what that's about.
But all deep in our everything at all in control.
I'm going to switch voices for 1 second just over to Natalie and see if she does that differently.
What all deep in the
That is so confusing. Okay, cool. I'm not going to worry about that right this minute. Okay, Liam, you're back. Cool. While I'm thinking about that for a moment, I think I want to involve Suno just for a minute and see if it can come up with a piano part that's exactly in time with this piano part, which I can change. I mean, we can actually quantize these if we wanted to. We could try that as well. But let's do this and not change it yet. Because I do want to see if I could get a piano part that would match up without. I'll bring this over in a second. Are we signed in? Okay, we're signed in. Let's get ourselves a new project. And this is maybe even the bigger experiment than the other one, to see if this will be able to give us a part that really matches those timing variations. I know Suno can do ones with timing variations, but let's see. Let's see what this can do for us. Ooh, let's change our output so we can actually hear that in the stream. Okay, so it's thinking. Is that down to the end? Awesome. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Let's add a track. I want to add just another keyboard. Audio influence, very high. That one down. Okay, cool. Let's see. Piano. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side. Cool. So, man, I don't know if I want to turn this live stream into just an editing of the Synthesizer V vocal part. Although a couple of those notes are not working. Phonemes down here.
What all deep in, what all deep in.
That one's going to be a little bit of a mystery to me. Okay, do we have... Suno is still working on a piano. Let me hear a little bit. Let me just keep going and see what else we have to make some notes.
In our everything.
And actually, bar 18, we'll just do that out here.
Deep in our everything, at all in control. The daylight hums along. shadow in control. The daylight hum.
Let's undo that. Oh, come on, give me.
The daylight hummed along. A shadow in control. The daylight hummed along, shattering my soul.
Oh, shattering my saw. I love that.
Shattering my soul.
Ah, it's workable.
The water pile the ground, soft with zero sound, covers of the sorrows that we've found. The wind upon our backs, trust to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I hold forever, never looking back.
Oh, it's like so close sometimes. It's not intelligent. You would think the next step for this would be to have it actually realize what it had analyzed and see if something else would make more sense.
Your hand I hold forever.
Hold. We can just type a lot of this in though. Forever.
Your hand I hold forever, never looking back.
Okay.
Never looking back. We should have been your joy. I was checking from my heart. A mountain of the world soon began to start. What should have been or everything, a shadow in control. A delight comes along.
Whoa.
A delight.
A day.
A delight. A delight comes along. A delight comes along, shattering my suit.
My suit. Okay.
Shattering my soul, walking towards the store. All the wind rages on.
Walk. I've got to look at the. Walking towards the storm. Okay. That's what I thought it was. Walking towards the storm. Not the store.
Walking towards the storm. All the wind rages on. Lost in the lonely arms had been searching for. I can't see a hair.
46. Okay, let's go up to here.
Arms had been searching for. I can't see.
I think that really should be down.
Lost in the lonely arms had been searching for. I can't.
Let's try that one more time.
Lost in the lonely arms had been searching for. I can't see a hair. The loads are falling in. Beheld my empty hand. pull me to your shore.
Okay, we're done with. Let's pause on that for a second. We do have some sort of piano thing over here. Let's solo it for a second. Actually, what might help more? Let's delete that for a minute. Let's change this to bass so that I can do. Maybe just because it's like I didn't write down the chords when I was playing it, although I could probably figure them out pretty easily. It might be nice just to have a reference of like a bass part there. We're gonna let that work in the background. That whatever that keyboard it just created was pretty useless in Suno. But that's a tough ask for it in the first place. Let's keep on going here just a little bit more. Oh, interesting. Oh no, here it comes.
Shut up in pure joy was sticking round my heart. The melting over world to begin the start. What shouldn't it be got everything, all shadow in control. A delight comes along, shattering my soul.
Interesting. Okay, from the top, let's fix a few more words.
Snow began to fall before the sun came up.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. Cold inside our bones was it. Okay, let's try that first part again. Why are you going up there?
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough?
We did something there with the space bar. It stole That may be too tight. Let's listen. Oh, come on.
It stole my breath away.
Let's tell it to stop doing that. I know about the multi-syllable notes.
It stole my breath away with nothing left to say.
Now that was right. With nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see. The white has covered up the things I see. But then let's do a minus there to have that carry on.
With nothing left to say, the white has covered up.
These should probably be up. There we go.
The white has covered up the things I see. The things I see. The things I see.
Okay, let's get rid of that I down here. And we'll do I up there and then C there. Let's see.
Has covered up the things I see.
That's way better. Okay. Maybe this is going to be a little bit tedious at first, but I like the process because one thing is, I'm sure I sang this as a rough thing originally, and I could maybe learn it off of that. But this helps me kind of sort out some of those parts of the melody in a way that's different than singing it all the time. And with a different voice, I get to actually, hear it with tuning. Plastidon, a minus on a note that's bumped up, does like a high. It gives you it keeps the same vowel and lets you do pitch changes on it. There's a word for that I don't know what it is.
Which are the
Ostinato, sostenuto, something. I don't know. Okay, let's try these.
which shall deep in pure joy was taken.
Let's do, instead of should have, let's do should have. It really is getting stuck on the should have.
Which should have been pure joy was taken.
Okay, we have the was taken. And then a plus splits the syllables. Taken from my heart. Okay.
Was taken from my heart.
That's the wrong note.
Was taken from my heart. The melting of the world.
There's the melt. Let's see. Melting. Melting. So plus to split that into two. Those are right. The world. Let's hear that phrase.
The melting of the world.
Is that an okay change? Yeah, that's okay.
The melting of the world soon began to start.
soon began, plus sign to break that, to start. So what, this is another one that was weird. Should have been our everything. Another plus. Shadow in. Let's see. It's always good to keep the words together so that you remember later, but then the plus and the minus help you like split things apart.
Soon began to start what have been our everything, a dead door in control. The daylight comes along
That should is still my.
to start what have been.
I'm spelling it wrong. I don't think that should have crashed the whole thing. It's not showing up there. I wonder. Okay, we're going to delete that one and write it back in. Something was freaking about it, but
What should have been our what should have been our everything, a dead door in control.
no.
A dead door.
Okay, we're going to delete that one for some reason too. Let's see if that fixes it.
What should have been our everything, a dead door in control.
Ah. Shh. One word per note, I know.
Everything a share in control.
So the SHs are working, but certainly not playing nicely. So we're going to split these ones into shadow. See if that fixes it.
Should have been our everything, a dead door in control.
Nope. Shadow. What is, maybe it's, no, I have it split. I don't know why that's
What
so.
should have been our everything, a dead door in control. What should have been our everything, a shadow.
So we're going to go down a little bit for a moment. Down here in the phonemes is where I can actually try to make some bigger differences. There's the SH and this little triangle over there. And so I'm going to move the SH a little longer.
A shadow. A shadow in control.
Better.
Shadow in control. The daylight comes along.
So that shadow's better now. So sometimes we have to go down to the phonemes. I try to do a first pass of the words first. See if I can get them better that way, and then fine tune down in the next one.
The daylight comes along. The daylight comes along.
Let's get these a little more attached to each other. Is there a reason that that's like that? No.
The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
So a lot of pitch issues here. Shattering. Oh, well, let's go back. Shattering my soul. So we're going to do 2 pluses on that one because it's shattering.
Shattering my soul. Shattering my soul.
No. So we're not exactly on the right. Let's see. I need to figure out. Let's turn off magnet. That's what I want off.
Shattering my shattering my shattering my soul. Shattering my soul.
I think that's better.
Shattering my soul.
And then we have a break. Okay, let's hear the beginning to there.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul.
So some of those need a little bit more adjusting, which I'm going to do for a moment, because they didn't fit exactly in the timing. And I think I can do that.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones was.
So I think we can go a little bit more over with these ones.
To fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough?
The cold inside our bones.
Before the sun came out, the cold inside our bones.
Let's get the cold further over.
Before the sun came out, the cold inside our bones, was it enough?
Better.
It stole my breath. It stole my breath. It stole my breath.
So one thing I'm noticing is that the tempo is still not, it's not following the detailed map, but we'll make it work today.
It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
Okay, so that's the first verse and chorus that are in a lot better place than when we started. So let's continue on.
Covers of the
And I'm just going to power through some more of these. This is maybe the perfect example of, is something like Synthesizer V better than learning how to sing, or should you just learn how to sing? And the truth is, I like this because I can change voices and get new voices, but also when I don't feel like singing, then I've got a tool that can do it. Right now, more than anything, I'm just fixing the words. And then I can actually go through and change all of I can like change the melody around, and it's recreating it each time instead of, having to re-record it each time. So we're on the second verse. The white upon the ground. Soft with zero sound. And there's a Placid on saying, is there a lot of snow there? Not yet. But there will be. There's going to be. We're hopeful. Soft with zero. I'm just even typing the ones that are right, but I guess. Soft with zero sound. Covers up the sorrows that we found. Okay. Let's check this one out real quick.
The water upon the ground. The water upon. The water upon. The water upon.
White. Come on.
The water upon the ground. Soft with zero sound. Covers up the sound.
Nope. Undo. Undo whatever that was. Oh, I'm in the wrong mode.
Covers up the sorrows that we found.
These two maybe go to B flat.
Covers up the sorrows that we found. The wind upon.
Okay, that one's fine. The wind up. Let's do that one too. Up. Upon. Our backs. Tries to blow us. Tries to blow us off our. I do like that I have the words at least already written. Your hand, I'll hold forever. Never. Let's see. Looking back. That's good. Okay. Let's check that one out real quick.
The wind upon our.
Why the wind? Wind. Ugh. So I'm going down to the phonemes over here. I think I can just type in I there.
The pond.
Nope. The wind.
The
And okay, that is definitely wrong. Let's see. So it's trying to do wind. I wonder what. I wonder if. Okay, it's IH. Okay.
in the pond. The wind upon our backs.
So I don't always know the phonemes as they're supposed to be. AI would be IND, and then IH is IND, and so I just changed that down
The
there.
wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our track.
Why did that go down in pitch?
Tries to blow us off. Tries to blow us
Oh yeah, okay. I thought it went down lower, but it didn't.
off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever.
Undo.
Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. Never looking back.
Okay, now we're on to. It's like I can't just copy and paste this the choruses because I want them to be different, so we're gonna keep on doing them differently. This is the most exciting stream ever, right? What should I keep on spelling should wrong? Just hitting those letters. Should have been pure joy. Was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. Soon began to start. I mean, maybe it would have been better just to put the notes in and type this fresh from the beginning. There actually is a way you can type in a lot of lyrics at once, but I find with this way, with the notes already on the screen, that it makes more sense because then I can make sure I'm getting the right places from the beginning. What should have been our everything? A shadow in control. Cool. The daylight comes along. Shattering my soul walking. So I end up replacing pretty much everything. It did a pretty good job, but I'm definitely coming through towards. I know a lot of these need new pitches assigned to them, but we'll go check that out second. While the wind rages on, lost. Oh, I already had that. Lonely arms. I've been looking. Okay, that one good. Okay, good. I can't see ahead. Okay, that one's good. Good. See ahead. Maybe. The roads. Wow, they really fell down on these ones though. The roads are falling in. Grab. Oop. Grab my. Ooh, so grab. My empty hand. Pull me to your shore. And then we just have one more repeat of the chorus, and then we can change our focus. Tom says, I do a lot of reggae, ska, and rocksteady music using what I call my hybrid. It's a little bit of... Cool. Let's see. What should have... What is happening with my typing? Is there nothing? We're going to have to fix this one because I'm not even timing it. Pure joy. Okay.
What should have been pure joy was taken.
Was taken from my heart. Yeah, that's good. The melting, I should have it all memorized by now, of the world soon began to start. Yeah, this is it right here. What should have been our everything 2 pluses. And, oh, that's okay. Control. Shadow and control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul. That's funny.
As a love did be.
Where are we? 73. Okay, we're going to figure that one out later. Oh, we don't want to do that yet. We want to go to...
Melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The delight comes along, shattering my soul, walking towards the storm, while the wind rages.
The wind. So, phonemes, I-H.
While the wind rages on, lost in the lonely arms, I've been my soul, walking towards the storm. While the wind rages on, lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in.
Okay, let's fix that.
I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore.
Okay, so this is where some of those things I do need to... We got the words now. But it's like we got to figure out...
Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore. Pull me to your door. Pull me to your door.
Come on.
Pull me to your shore.
But it's like maybe... I'm going to look up real quick. I haven't used these too much, but I think this would be a lot easier to do if I was just using a few of their keyboard shortcuts. Oh, so those are actually kind of cool too. Modify. Maybe I can't just go up by one note. I'm going to look. I'm looking! So those are shifting. Man, I thought I saw somebody do that with just one. But Command T.
Pull me to your shore.
Let's check these ones out real quick.
What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the
They'll
The melting of the world. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes. The daylight.
okay. That one too.
The daylight comes along.
Just easier to get exact instead of figuring out with my mouse.
The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
Shittering.
Shattering my soul. Shattering my soul.
That's better. And I don't even know what that is yet. So let's hear this.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul. The water upon the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sorrows that we found. The wind.
Let's fix that sorrows.
Sorrows.
Let's try that.
Covers up the sorrows that we've.
Let's do ES maybe.
Covers up the sorrows that we found.
Still sounds like an accented voice.
Covers up the sorrows that we found.
Let me try soar.
Covers up the sorrows that we found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along.
The daylight.
The daylight.
Let's just do day and light.
The daylight comes. The daylight comes along. The daylight comes along.
That's a little better.
Shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul, walking towards the storm, while the wind rages on, lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore.
Wrong note. Let's see. Let's just go up one.
Pull me,
Nope. Go up another one. Where am I?
pull me to. Pull me to your shore.
Maybe.
Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
Okay, that's a good rough. I actually want to see, I'll show you a little bit of the smoke behind, or the, the wizard behind the, whatever, you know what I'm saying. I use this 360 microphone, and I think I can maybe get the piano a little bit better. This is which one's the one? This one. No, not that one. Come on. That one.
My soul of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow and control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul. Light upon the ground, soft with zero sound.
So I think I like that sound a little bit better. I'm moving around virtually the microphone from that recording because it's an it is an ambisonic microphone, and these tools let us aim the microphone in different directions. In fact, there's other tools that are even better than this one. But this is a more simple approach. I'm just going to get a little different piano sound. And I might just leave that piano as a part of this, even though it's kind of, I mean, it's what it is. People have used pianos like that on records before. Okay, so quit that. Let me find this real quick. My Logic folder. New piano export. And then, let's see if I got that close enough. Yeah, that's right. Nope, not right. Close. Because the end of that is perfectly lined up, I can just get that. We can just do that zoomed in. Get it exactly right. Down to the sample. Just like that. Okay, cool. And we'll just move that back to the front. And then one more time, we will do stem splitter. This time, no vocals, just the piano. Do 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 do. The way you're supposed to use the stem splitter, I'm assuming. Okay, that's out. Let's do mute.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see.
Okay, I'm going to hear one more thing. Let's hear how they did with the bass. Suno, one of these days you're not going to let me down. Okay, so next step then for me is to put a keyboard or something out here. Come on, what is happening with my mouse? And then play a little, I want some bass with this too. Let's do, I'll have to remember what notes. This is one area that I wish was better in Logic, an analysis of the chords for an audio track. But let me play around a little bit.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul. The water upon the ground soft with zero sound, covers up the sorrows that we found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul, walking towards the storm while the wind rages on. Lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul. Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see. Which should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul. The water upon the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sorrows that we found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul, walking towards the storm while the wind rages on. Lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore.
Okay, I'm going to add that synth part a little bit in, maybe during the first chorus. And then I'm going to do a bass part after that. And maybe one other thing, but that's it. I mean, I'm liking the performance of Synthesizer V. There's still a couple words that I keep hearing that are wrong. Sorrows isn't, I'm going to take off maybe the R and the rose and go soar, O's. We'll see. But I got to do a couple things for that, but I'm kind of digging this a little bit.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul.
I can turn it down later
The
too.
water upon the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sorrows that we found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul. Walking towards the storm while the wind rages on. Lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
Still don't know what some of those chords are in the middle, but I'm not gonna. It's like I did some sort of key change, dominant fifth, something or other. Thank you for being creative. Haha, Tom's funny. Hilarious.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul. The water upon the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sorrows that
Ugh, it's like, I don't mind the string bass, but I'm going to change it to something else. Something I can... Ugh. Offset that piano a little bit.
snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The white has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul. The water upon the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sorrows that we found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul, walking towards the storm while the wind
Okay, I guess I better figure out.
began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul, walking towards the storm while the wind rages on. Lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
Okay, let me go fix just a couple more of those words throughout, and then I think this is at a rough draft place, but we're going to see if we can't just get a couple more of these Synthesizer V things in the right place.
Snow began. Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing.
stole my breath away.
Thing left to say.
Oh, come on. What did I just do?
It stole my breath away. Was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The what has covered up. It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The my breath away with nothing left to say. The what has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul. The water upon the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sorrows that we found.
Sorrows.
On the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sorrows that we found.
Sorrows covers up. Executive decision. Sadness. I just don't like how that's going to sound.
Soft with zero sound, covers up the sadness that we found.
Sadness. Even it can't even sing sadness right. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 up.
Zero sound, covers up the sadness that we found.
Let's go 2 more.
Covers up the sadness that we found.
Better.
The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks.
Tries to blow us.
Tries to blow us. Tries to blow us off our track. Wind upon our backs tries to blow us.
That's just wrong all the way around.
Found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us.
Nope. Let's try that.
Found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us. On our backs tries to blow us.
That's going to be better.
Backs tries to blow us off our track.
Let's just ripple that all down. There's always faster ways.
Backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever. Tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever. Never looking back.
Okay, let me go back a little.
Backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back.
That's better.
What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul, walking towards the storm.
I'm going to try taking this up.
My soul walking. My soul walking toward.
Nope.
My soul walking towards the storm.
That's better. That's what I want.
Shattering my soul, walking towards the storm, while the wind rages on, lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore. What should have been pure joy?
Let's see.
What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
That synth part probably needs a little bit of a change, but let's put the mastering effect on this. So I can't decide. Maybe, so here's the two directions I'm thinking about going with this one. One is the new Resync plugin from IK Multimedia. I do want to do my voice print with it, but that's going to take a little bit of time. But I could do that and then put it on this voice, and it would sound more like me. I could do something similar. Ooh. I could do something similar with the vocal flex that comes from Synthesizer V, but I don't think it's going to sound enough like me. I could use this now for me to learn the vocal part and then re-record my vocal later, which I don't think I want to release an album with this Synthesizer V voice on it. You never know. But the song is now one step closer to being actually done, which I think is nice. And I like that, living room piano sound. That's the piano sound I grew up with.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say.
Really quickly, I'm going to put, all of the effects I put on there actually make that voice have some sibilance. Where's my favorite Smart DS? Pure DS. Smart DS, Pure DS. I can never remember which one's the one I want.
The what has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul. The water upon the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sadness that we found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul. Walking towards the storm while the wind rages on, lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
Ooh, it's getting closer.
Snow began to fall before the sun came out. The cold inside our bones, was it enough? It stole my breath away with nothing left to say. The what has covered up the things I see, which should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering our soul. The water upon the ground, soft with zero sound, covers up the sadness that we found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul, walking towards the storm while the wind rages on, lost in the lonely arms I've been looking for. I can't see ahead, the roads are falling in. Grab my empty hand, pull me to your shore. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. What should have been our everything, a shadow in control. The daylight comes along, shattering my soul.
It kind of just ends, but I think that that's good enough for this, at least for the moment. We're going to reanalyze though, because I made a bunch of changes. Let the mastering assistant see if it makes any changes to those big humps that were there. Probably won't, but it'd be nice if it was a little flatter. There's a lot of thick stuff happening in those synths, and the piano is kind of rough. And I mean, it's just not a lot of nuance. Yeah, actually, it did work out some of the high frequencies there. Still too much in the low mids. I mean, that's just pulling it all out. We could probably do that ourselves and then get it flatter, because that's like 4.5 decibels pulled down from like 200 to 1,000. Yikes.
Soft with zero sound covers up the sadness that we found. The wind upon our backs tries to blow us off our tracks. Your hand I'll hold forever, never looking back. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start.
The other thing we could have done is lock the piano down into a solid tempo. Once we have this analyzed like this, then we can flatten that down if we do the, where are we looking at here? The flex and follow. And so we could flatten it all down before we put it into Synthesizer V and have a steady tempo. I just didn't want that. I wanted the more free-flowing tempo because that was the performance I had done originally. And it may have added some artifacts and stuff to the piano to do it. Okay, let's hit save. I'm going to see if I like this or hate it as I put it into the car for me to listen to later. Let's see, what is the title of this? I don't know if I ever came up with Melting of the World. Should have been. What should have been pure joy was taken from my heart. The melting of the world soon began to start. I guess it's called The Melting of the World. That's what we're calling it. Cool. So this will put it into my memos so I can just flip it up on the car when I go driving next. see how the balance is. After I do this for 2 hours with headphones, I can't tell exactly the levels of things. That's why, we don't mix like this when we're doing like full things. But when we're doing live streaming, sometimes we have different parameters. So I'll be checking this outside of it. But let me just drop it in the middle for a second.
Should have been pure joy, was taken from my heart, the melting of the world.
And I'll be listening to the voice to see how much if there's any other words I want to change, or if I want to keep it or use my own and just re-record it or what. That's all going to be determined after a few days when I listen to it a few times. Okay. Thanks for joining another one of these streams. These are not like money makers on my channel, nor are they supposed to be, but they are still part of the process, keeping me honest with this project. I think this is like the 6th song, maybe. Oof. I'm shooting for 9 for the whole album, so I think we have like 3 more. If this one if I like this one, then we'll have 3 more. So Plastodon's asking, how do I get it in memos? In Logic, you can do a share to voice memos, which is also Control-Option-Command B. And then you get to choose, but it goes right into memos at that point. And then it's shared across the cloud. And so it's on my phone, it's on my iPad, it's on my laptop, all instantly or near instantly after I do that. I love that feature. It's not like full quality, but I don't need that for just checking mixes in the car. Okay, this is it for today. We will be doing a bunch of streaming if Logic gets an update this week. If not, there may just be lesser amount of videos and streaming, but I'm kind of in a, pre-holiday funk, meaning I don't want to do a lot of things, and I force myself to do songs because I've got this project that I've got to be done with. But it's what it is. We're making progress. So thanks for watching. Plastodon, thanks for being here. Tom as well. And anybody else who was watching, Diviam earlier. But it's your turn. Go home, make some music. Turn on your computer, record something. It's like, yeah, it's cool that I'm doing this, but the whole point is that you'll be inspired to do it as well. But check you later.